me again. So much me. I know, it's like you've never seen me before, you've never heard from me before except on the podcast, and then all of a sudden I'm here like 5,000 times. You can, for that, you can blame my blogging writer friend Jonathan Pongratz, who gave me the idea to do videos for part of the book release, sort of hoo-ha, blah blah. So blame him, he's the one that started it. So this time, I just realized I really haven't told you about the book. Silly me. So, I guess without trying to give too much away, I will tell you a little bit about the plot and sort of get you going. And again, you can, if you're not ready to buy the book, you can always just get a sample. And I have a 14 chapter sample that you can get just by signing up for my newsletter. Okay, breathe. Stop talking so fast. Okay, so the book starts out, Cassie works at a funeral home. She does makeup on the dead, and if you've ever seen makeup being put on dead people, it's kind of weird. It's like really thick, because you gotta make them try to look lively, but anyway, she does a good job, don't worry, she knows her stuff. She is at work. This is the very first scene that you'll see. She's at work, and one of her clients wakes up, and she panics. She doesn't know what's going on, and she's this kind of person that she thinks she's pretty cool, but yeah, she loses her cool like crazy. So she manages to follow the guy out of the funeral home, and it turns out the guy has sort of like one unfulfilled wish, and that wish is that he hadn't fought with his wife right before he died. So it's up to Cassie, who is absolutely a complete introvert. She hates interacting with people. She will do anything to avoid interacting with people. She's got to go to his wife with a note she's gotten the dead guy to write and deliver this note, and so it's a very awkward moment for her. And then there's the funeral for this guy. Things are okay, and then another person wakes up, and I don't want to give too much away, but because of this person, something happens. That doesn't make any sense. Obviously something happens, it's a book. So after this person wakes up, she's been trying to keep this under wraps, but Mr. Wood, her boss, sorry, I forgot his name for a second. Mr. Wood, her boss, finds out in a very shocking way what's going on, and Cassie has to sort of like convince him that she's got things all under control. All she has to do is make sure that these people have their one final desire satisfied, and everything's fine. So Mr. Wood's like, you gotta sort this out, chick. And she's like, okay. But she's really devoted to Mr. Wood because she hasn't had the easiest life. She's been tossed around in foster homes, really abusive foster homes. It's like every foster home except for one that she went to, the foster parents either starved her or beat the crap out of her, and just a really bad life. And you'll learn a little bit more about why that happened later in the books. I don't think you find out in book 1. But anyway, what does she do? So because she's had this hard life, she couldn't afford to finish her schooling, and she really didn't have a lot of chances in life. And she just lost a job. She was working as a bike messenger, as you learned in a different video. When she thought that job was going okay, when the bike messenger service just all of a sudden shut down. So then she just happened to see a Craigslist ad for Mr. Wood, who was looking for actually just a cleaner. And then Mr. Wood finds out that she's not just a cleaner. She can do makeup on the dead, even though she's not licensed for it, which is a very big deal in the funeral trade, that you be licensed to actually handle the dead. So what happens is Mr. Wood hires her anyway, and it's a good thing because she is like nearly homeless. She can't make her rent. She's been overdue numerous times, and her landlord doesn't like letting her get away with these things. So Mr. Wood hires her, saves her from starvation, saves her from homelessness, and she's absolutely indebted to him, and he's one of the few people that she actually feels like she has a connection to. Very rare for her. So the fact that she could actually make him lose his business with these dead people antics, she feels very responsible for taking care of the problem, and she thinks she has gotten the problem taken care of. Well, then Busby Tenpenny comes along. He's a corpse. He wakes up and says, I've been murdered. And she's like, no, you haven't. Your paperwork says you had a heart attack. And he's like, no, I've been murdered. So this sets off Cassie finding out a little bit about her past, and a little bit about some weird coincidences between her and Mr. Tenpenny. And Mr. Tenpenny says the reason that you're waking up the dead is because you have magic in you, and it's not quite the magic you want in you. And Cassie's like, I don't want to be magic. Magic has done me no good my entire life. Get it out of me. So Mr. Tenpenny's like, okay, well, we got to go off to visit the magic people. and so that's kind of what sets up the whole situation of her going, and her whole goal is to just get rid of this magic. But then as she gets more involved in the magic community, she starts finding out more about her past and why she might have been in foster care and what happened to her parents. She has always assumed that her parents just ditched her, that they're junkies, or I don't know what she assumed. I think she mostly assumed that they were junkies and had their kids taken away from them. So she's learning more and more about this, and she's getting more involved. And of course, because there has to be one, there is an evil wizard trying to get her. Because now he knows that she has magic that he wants. And what is she going to do about that? Well, you find out. It was a lot of fun to write. I have to say, I had more fun writing the first couple drafts of this book than I have writing anything ever. Even some of my short stories weren't this fun, and those are usually pretty fun for me. So, yeah, that's kind of the basic premise of the book. I don't know if I'm getting that across to you very well. It's kind of the setup. Again, if you want to get the sample to read those, kind of introductory bits without me rambling about them, I don't know. There are links. You can get them, and they're either in this blog post or below the video. I'm supposed to go like this, right? That's what you do in the YouTubes. Okay, so that's it for this time, I think.